Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming out with the weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Louis Vuitton Alma BB in the Damier Ébène. Alright, so grab your coffee, grab your tea, let's start your workout, let's go to work, let's do your laundry, whatever it is that you do, come join me. We have some awesome topics to cover today. Happy New Year, and let's get this show on the road, shall we? Starting with the first question from Madoka OR. Hopefully I said that correctly. If you must let go of 5 bags from your current collection, which are they, and which 5 must stay? Sometimes we face situations like financial difficulty or moving to a smaller place where we must downsize our stuff. Just asking. This is an awesome question. All right, so 5 bags that must leave my current collection. What are they? I love them all, but based on the fact that I don't use them as often, these are the following that I would end up downsizing. It would be the Louis Vuitton Speedy 30 Mon Mano, the Chanel Le Boy bag, oh man, I would have to say the Dior Cruise wallet in the metallic silver or gunmetal. I'm gonna cheat because technically it's a small leather good, but I do end up using it as a clutch. I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna say the Louis Vuitton Daily pouch. And the last one, I don't wanna say it, but it does dig into my shoulder a little more than I would like. And that's the Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the Damier Ébène. I mean, I love it, I absolutely love it, but it does dig into my shoulder and I don't use it as often. So those are the 5 that I would end up selling. And the 5 that would definitely stay are going to be the Louis Vuitton Speedy 30 in the Damier Azur, the Louis Vuitton Neverfull MM in the monogram canvas, the reissue, the Chanel Mini in the red or the dark pink, and the last one would be the Pochette Métis. The Pochette Métis for sure. I don't know, I might switch it out for the Celine Nano. I don't know, but I think those are the 5 that I would end up keeping. And I feel like sometimes that ends up changing because I have been so adamant about the same top 5 being in my collection, and I've noticed that within the last couple of months, it started to change a little bit more. So for now, I will have to say that those are the 5 that I would end up keeping. But this is an awesome question, and I turn to you. If you must get rid of 5 bags, which ones would those be? And if you were to keep only 5, which one would those be? If you guys want to share in the comment section down below, let us know. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Carol Mahoney. Do you still have the same feelings when you buy a bag now versus when you first started collecting? Oh man, this is a tough question. Do I still feel the same way now as I did when I first started collecting? I will always love handbags. I will always love handbags. I always have loved handbags. And whatever bag I get, I'm always super excited about, and I get really giddy. I have that stupid grin from ear to ear type of thing. But I will also admit that the feeling has somewhat changed over the years, and hopefully it makes sense with what I'm trying to say. But nowadays, I feel like I've been able to add items to my collection a little more often than I did in the past. In the past, it would take me years to be able to save up for a bag and be able to then go into the boutique or go into the store to be able to get it. Whereas nowadays, and I'm please don't take this the wrong way, nowadays I feel like it's almost like that feeling might be somewhat fleeting. It's almost fleeting because I get really excited about it, and then that same feeling that I get of excitement goes away a little bit quicker if I end up getting a small leather good after it, or a different handbag, or something else. You know what I mean? I feel like that same feeling, that same excited feeling doesn't last as long as it used to way back when. Way back when, like I said, I would save up for years. And I remember, like, a perfect example, the Chanel Jumbo. That is my holy grail bag. And even though I don't use it as often, to me, there's something very, very special about the bag, in the sense that I always remember everything that I had to go through, I remember all the hours of overtime that I worked for that bag. I remember every portion of every paycheck, whether it was $10, whether it was $15 or $50, that I would save as much as I possibly could towards that bag. So really, I'm doing it a disservice by not using it as often as I should, right? But I feel like, and I've said it before, sometimes I feel like when you save up for a bag for a long, long time, whether it's a holy grail, whether that's the end-all be-all bag, whatever it is, sometimes I feel like those bags, those items, whatever it might be, are that much more special because they took a lot longer to acquire. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know if I'm necessarily explaining myself the way that I want it to come out, but that's the way that I feel. I feel like that same excitement that, you know, your heart is in your throat, that, oh my gosh, am I really doing this? Am I really doing this? I can't believe it. You're so nervous. But there's that flood of excitement that comes through when you've worked that hard to put money towards that bag, that I feel like you don't have that same sensation as much nowadays, and it doesn't last as long. It doesn't mean that I don't love the bags, because I do. I love them all, but I do miss that feeling. I do miss that, you know, when you would buy a bag and you were so excited for it to be in your collection that you didn't want to switch out of it. It didn't matter if you had other bags in your collection or not, you would not switch out of it for months, for years at a time, because you were so stoked about it, you know? And I do miss that. I do miss that, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Do you feel that way? Do you feel like the sensation or the same feeling isn't as intense as it was before? I don't know, but this is an awesome question, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it, but hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from J Mac. How long did it take you to wear in your Gucci loafers? I got the 40. They fit well in length. My foot is narrow only when I walk. The left shoe, where the leather creases over the foot, almost stabs the top of my foot. The right shoe creases at an angle and it doesn't hurt my foot. It's not faulty as such. I tried stretching the left shoe. It didn't help. I'm thinking of selling them now, but I really love the look. How many times did you wear yours to get them comfortable? Also, did you put a sole on the entire bottom, heel included, of the shoes, or not at all? All right, awesome question. And so we have a little bit more eye candy. Here are the Gucci Princetown loafers. This is in the hibiscus red. And for me, it's funny because when I tried these on at the store, they are a little bit stiffer in comparison to any of the other styles that Gucci has for their loafers. At least I feel that way. This one in comparison to the Brixton, I felt like I could end up running in those things, you know, because they're so soft. And these, I was like, oh, I'm sure I'm gonna have an issue wearing them in because they are a little bit stiffer. But much to my surprise, I felt that I ended up breaking these in instantaneously. It's like 5 minutes later after wearing them, I felt that I had worn them. I felt that I had owned them for years. So for me, I didn't have any issues with the creases or the interior of the shoe kind of hitting my foot or anything like that. And what I would suggest is I would go back to the boutique or I would go back to the store and try on a few different sizes, you know, because sometimes they do end up running a little bit bigger. And it might be just a question of it being a half size too big or anything like that. And as you wear them, it might end up stretching out a little bit better. So that's what I would do. I would try on a few different sizes and see how that ends up working out for you. But like I said, I just felt like these were ridiculously comfortable. The only thing that I noticed is that I ended up slipping with them because there was no traction on the bottom. They were really just super smooth, and I felt like I was gonna eat it on my carpet, you know, so I had to get a little bit more traction on it. But as far as putting like a sole protector on it, I don't. They look they look somewhat trashed, but I have put these things through the ringer. I have used them to death in the short amount of time that I've owned them, and I absolutely love them. But when it comes to any shoes, I actually don't put any protector on the sole or anything like that. Whether it's these guys or like my silver ones or even my Valentinos or my Chanels or anything, I just feel like if and when the time comes for me to have to change out the sole, then I'll do it. But more often than not, I feel like I don't really end up going through shoes that quickly. And I mean, if it shows wear and tear on the bottom, I mean, it is what it is. To me, that's just part of how it ends up wearing when it comes to the bottom of a shoe. but I definitely don't end up protecting them. But that, again, that's what I would end up doing. Go back to the boutique, try them on, see how they feel. And one thing I will definitely suggest is to try on your shoes at the end of the night or closer to the end of the night. After you've been on your feet for, you know, the entire day, that's when you can really see how a shoe is going to fit for you. Because I used to try on my shoes at the beginning of the day, and if anything, I felt like, oh yeah, they were great. And when I'd get home, I'm like, oh no, these don't fit me at all. You know, my feet are tired. So you have a better sense of how the shoe is going to fit you at the end of the day after you've been walking around for a little bit. So I don't know if this is helpful, but I wish you the best of luck, and hopefully you do end up finding, you know, the loafers for you. And if they're not the Princetown loafers, definitely take a look at the Brixton loafers, because those are also very, very amazing and super, super comfortable. So fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to help. Next question from Christine Stevens. I've been on Van Island for 2018, and I've been good about not checking the Louis Vuitton website until this AM when I made the classic mistake of searching all bags to see what I've been missing out on. The Louis Vuitton Riverside caught my eye, and it was love at first sight. My heart sang for the first time in years. I wanted to learn more, where I researched it online to find very little on the bag. Is it common to have little to no information on a bag like this? I find it surprising because anytime I've been interested in a bag, I'm typically flooded with tons and tons of content, and I find it shocking to find so little info. Also, while I have your attention, do you have any thoughts on the bag? All right, so first things first, is it common to have little to no information on a bag like this? I have definitely noticed the same thing. Unless it's a really popular bag, unless it's a really trendy bag, I feel that there's a lot of other bags out there that don't necessarily get the same, they don't get the credit that they deserve, especially if it's a bag that has a lot of function to it or that's incredibly versatile or anything like that. You know, because if you go onto YouTube, if you go onto if you just go onto your search engine and if you put Louis Vuitton Speedy 30, if you put Chanel Classic Flap or Gucci Marmont, you'll find tons and tons of articles, millions of videos. And sometimes I've noticed that unless a celebrity or a blogger makes a bag really popular, then you'll start to see the popularity start to kind of, make the bag a little bit more, noticeable to people. And then you'll see a lot more unboxings, a lot more reviews, a lot more content on it, So part of me thinks it's kind of a shame, because as I said before, there's a lot of wonderful bags out there that don't get they don't get their credit that they deserve. They don't get their 15 minutes of fame, if you will. But other times I feel like it's kind of nice to have a bag that isn't so popular and it's kind of like the best kept secret type of thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. At least I feel that way. Yeah, I have definitely noticed the same thing. And as far as the Louis Vuitton Riverside, let me insert a picture of this bag real quick. I love it. I love it because it's a tote. You guys know how I feel about totes. It comes with a removable strap, so it gives it a little bit more versatility, a little bit more function. It has that gorgeous microfiber lining. It also has a divider, so that way you have a little bit more organization. And it kind of reminds me of another bag from Louis Vuitton. I can't remember the name to save my life. If I can remember, I'll make sure and put it around here somewhere. But I also like the fact that it's very, very carefree. The only thing, even though I do appreciate a lot of aspects about it, and I do think it's a beautiful, beautiful bag, the only thing for me is the price point is a little bit higher than I would like, especially since it's mostly a canvas bag. But if it's beautiful, absolutely it is. I know it can be kind of nerve-wracking to go for a handbag that doesn't have too much information out there, but if it makes your heart sing, then absolutely go for it, especially since you said yourself that you haven't felt that way in a really, really long time. I would suggest going into the boutique, taking your daily items with your daily essentials and seeing how it ends up working out for you. And if you decide to go for it, well, congratulations on your new bag. And I would love to hear your thoughts on it after you've had it for a little while, like how it's wearing, what you love about it the most, or whatever the case may be. But fantastic question, and hopefully this was able to help. Next question from Carla Gonzalez. I'm going to add to my collection the Speedy 30 bandolier in Damier Ébène. I've realized that there's quite a difference between the canvas of the bags, being that some of them are more light brown and others are more chocolate brown. In your opinion, which tones are more beautiful and versatile, and how are the ones that you own? I am so undivided on which ones I like the most, lighter or darker. All right, so when it comes to Damier Ébène, I love them all, whether they're lighter or darker. I am just a sucker for the print, especially because of that gorgeous, gorgeous red interior. I mean, I cannot deny it. And just like with any other canvas print from Louis Vuitton, whether it's monogram or Damier Azur or Damier Ébène, they will always end up varying in colors. With monograms, sometimes you see that you have a little bit more of a khaki tint to them. Others have a little bit more of a caramel tint to them. When it comes to Damier Azur, some of them are a little bit brighter. Others have more of an eggshell color to them. And with Damier Ébène, just like you said, some of them are a little bit more on the chocolate brown side, and the others have a little bit more caramel. And I wanted to kind of bring these two side by side so you guys can check it out. But I brought out the Classic Speedy 30 in the Damier Ébène, and once again the Alma Bibi in Damier Ébène. And side by side, you can really end up seeing that difference. At least I think so. This one has, even though I feel that the brown is a little bit darker, I feel it has a little bit more of like a dark chocolate brown to it, whereas this one has a little bit more caramel. You know what I mean? At least I see it. But when I have them on their own, I really can't see too much of a difference. So for me, it's not one or the other that I prefer. I love them all, like I said before. And I would definitely go for the one that you love the most. If you like the chocolate brown one, then go for that one. If you like the darker one, then end up going for that one. But I really like the fact that they all kind of vary. All of my Damier Ébène pieces have a slight difference to them, you know, and I think that makes them even more special. So definitely end up following your heart. But once again, here they are side by side so you guys can check out the difference. Which one do you like more? Do you like the lighter one a little bit more? Or actually, I feel like this one's a little bit darker, right? And this one is a little bit lighter. But either way, I love Damier Ébène. I mean, it's the first print, and I feel like even though I have more monogram, the Damier Ébène always makes my heart sing just a little bit louder, you know what I mean? But good luck on deciding on which one to go for, and congratulations on your soon-to-be Speedy 30 bandolier in the Damier Ébène. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to help. Next question from Barbara Seaver. I always say, new year, new goals. Do you have any goals for 2019 that you care to share? Any changes to your channel? All right, so as far as goals for the new year, it doesn't matter the year, but for me, I really try to make each day as great as possible. And I know that sounds super corny and super, super after school special, but for me, going into the day with that type of mentality really ends up helping me out. So regardless of the year, that's something that I always strive to do. But as far as 2019 in itself, I really want to put into motion my passion projects, you know, and I feel like I've been putting them off for so long. I'm always like, oh, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. But this year I'm like, no, I am dead set on getting them started, or at least kind of putting them into motion, you know, that being starting my book, starting to write my book, because that's like a childhood dream that I've always had. So I really want to get started on that. And the other one being the t-shirts that I talked about last year, being able to do that. So, this week, I actually have the possibility to meet with someone to possibly get that into, get that into motion. So I'm really, really excited about that. And I don't necessarily want to talk about it too much because I don't want to jinx it. I'm just really hopeful that everything ends up turning out for the best. But those are really the two things that I'm trying to focus the most on for this year, as far as personal projects. And as far as my channel goes, I really do try to challenge myself with bringing you guys different content. And I find it to be really difficult because sometimes I end up getting stuck in a rut. And trust me when I say this, that I know that it can be very mundane to have the same type of content week after week, month after month. You know, you guys want to see variety. You want to see maybe a different side of things that I enjoy. So that's another thing that I really want to try to implement into my channel this year, and just be able to bring that to you. So I'm going to try to tweak a few things here and there, maybe take away a certain type of video that I normally do and try to bring in something else. But what I can tell you is that Minks Monday is definitely here to stay. So you guys don't have to worry that that's going to go anywhere. And I'm actually kind of on the fence about continuing the handbag of the week video. Sorry, I'm having a difficulty talking right now because my cold is still not gone away. But the handbag of the week videos, I'm kind of on the fence about still continuing that. So that's another thing that I don't know if I'm going to bring back or not this year. But as far as other things, I really do want to bring you guys different content. So that way you're not like, oh, this type of video again, this type of video again. Because like I said before, I completely understand, where you guys are coming from if that's something that you do end up thinking. But yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much how I'm feeling about 2019 at the moment, you know, and hopefully everything ends up panning out for the best. But as long as I keep that positive state of mind, I feel that I feel it'll be a great, great year. So fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Now for the next question, if you guys are watching with your kids, I would suggest for them to leave the room, or if you wanted to mute it, because I will be using some sort of profanity with this next question. So I just want to throw that out there just in case. All right, so next question from Liza Petty. Okay, I have an AITA question for you. AITA, for those of you that don't know, stands for Am I the A-hole? This happened to me yesterday. I was in a Louis Vuitton boutique. I'm looking at some belts, like I'm tucking in my shirt and threading the belt through the loops. And this woman comes up to the sales associate working with me and asks if my bag is for sale. This is the Pochette Métis and the reverse monogram. He tells her no, it's my bag, and she asks him if she can take a look at it. Then he gives me a horrified look. I'm like messing with this belt, and I feel like I have to drop what I'm doing and turn my bag to face her. Then she asks me if she could try it on and look inside. I pointed to the Empreinte PM on the shelf and said she could try that one on. And they have very detailed pictures on the Louis Vuitton website. She rolled her eyes and walked away. The sales associate apologized and I just shrugged my shoulders. So I bought a Louis Vuitton belt, but I kind of feel like an a-hole. Am I the a-hole for not letting her look at or in my bag? My husband agrees with how I handled it. This is a fantastic, fantastic question. And I'm gonna have to agree with your husband. I feel that you handled this beautifully. You handled it brilliantly, the same way that I would have handled it. I mean, if anything, I think that the sales associate, when she asked if the bag was for sale, he could have said no, but I do have a bag similar to it if you want to take a look at it. He could have offered that to her, you know, but no, I think you handled it great. But it's kind of like what we talked about a few weeks ago when people ask you how much your items are in public. And to me, it's not about being offended that someone would do that. It's just I can't wrap my brain around why someone would do that, why someone would ask something like that, you know? Let me take a look, let me try on your bag and let me look inside. I mean, the Empreinte one is right there. Whether you look at the Empreinte one, the reverse, the monogram, the infrarouge, whatever print you end up getting from whatever leather you end up getting from Louis Vuitton for that bag, it doesn't change the silhouette of the bag. It doesn't change the compartments that the bag has. And you can get an idea as to how that bag would end up working out for your lifestyle, regardless of the type of print that it is. At least I feel that way. But call me old-fashioned, call me what you will. I just cannot wrap my head around where someone would think that's okay to ask something like that, you know, something so personal, and then to be upset because you didn't get the answer that you were expecting. It's like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. And major congratulations on your belt. But I think that you handled it perfectly, and to each their own. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this question. Would you have handled it differently? Do you see it a completely different way? There is no right or wrong answer. And, you know, I just want to let you guys know that whenever it comes to any topic that we talk about on Minks Monday, personal opinion or your viewpoint is always appreciated. So if you guys want to share an experience similar to this, or if you want to share your thoughts on this, I welcome them. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. And the last question from Stacey G. How is Edward doing? I hope he's feeling better. Please give him a big kiss from me. I will definitely do that, Stacey. And for those of you that don't know, we actually had to rush Edward to the vet last year, at the end of last year, because we noticed that he had blood in his urine. So we were freaking out. And when we took him to the vet, they ended up doing an x-ray. They did a urinalysis, and they also they had a blood test for him. Now, the x-ray revealed that he had an enlarged prostate. The vet said that it's most likely due to the fact that he is an older dog, and he does see that happen. So he sent him home with some medication to try to minimize the size of his prostate. And the blood work we got within like 20 minutes, and everything came back okay on the blood work, except for the fact that he had a little bit of a higher reading for his kidneys. And he said it's nothing to get too scared about. I've seen dogs that have a really high reading, but still I would like to bring that down. So he sent him home with some vitamins to be able to to help that out. And the urinalysis took the longest to get back. It took like 3 days to get back, but still I felt like it was the longest 3 days of my life. And everything came back from that, perfect. He's like, everything's great. We just have to to keep an eye on the prostate. So we have to go back later this week just to make sure that the medication is helping to minimize it, to shrink it down. And then within the month, we have to go back for an ultrasound just to make sure that there are no tumors hiding, you know, with the size of how big the prostate was. But I was a mess. I was a mess. I felt so bad, you know, and he was still his same spunky self. He would eat, he would eat fine, he would drink fine, he would still try to play around, but still seeing like the blood in his urine, and I saw drops of blood, you know, within the house. I was like, oh my gosh, where is this coming from? I thought he was cut. I thought, you know, whatever. I'm praying that everything goes well, you know, when we go back for his checkup this week, and when we go back within 30 days, that, you know, the ultrasound comes back clean, nothing, you know, nothing's wrong with him. But yeah, he definitely scared us, and I'm just happy that he's not like lethargic, or he's not, you know, that his appetite is still there. And I swear, even though he's 10, because he is an older dog, I think he referred to him as a senior dog, which I'm like, no, don't you dare call him a senior dog, even though I know he is, you know. But I swear he acts like he's still a puppy, which I will take any day. So yeah, Edward, oh man, that little guy is the apple of my eye. And yeah, it was just intense, absolutely intense. So fingers crossed that everything ends up working out okay. And a huge, huge thank you to you guys for all of your prayers, you know, because I did go on Instagram, and I was like I said before, I was a mess, and you guys really, really helped us out throughout that time. So thank you guys so, so much. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help. You guys had some awesome questions this week. I will be seeing you one more time this week. And again, thank you guys so, so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And I'll see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day.